scary to pick Minnesota because they have their lapses and you don't know, or you're waiting for Kirk Cousins to make his grave mistakes. But ultimately, you look, even the Chicago game last week, I know everybody looks at the 29-22 score in the final. That game was 21-3. And the Vikings just went to sleep for some reason, and Kirk Cousins engineered a end of the game drive to get the game won. But I got Minnesota. I think they're a more complete team. Offensively, their weapons with Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, and obviously Dalvin Cook are coming to play, and they just a better team than me. And it's been a long time since we've been able to say that.
Let me start it. There is no way in hell I'm picking the Minnesota Vikings as long as Kirk Cousins is their quarterback over Aaron Rodgers. I'm not doing it. You may be right. I got you, because Dalvin Cook can ball. Jefferson's a stud. Their defense is vastly improved. The new coach, Kevin O'Connell, seems to be the right man for the job. Certainly a welcome change from Zimmerman, because obviously not that he couldn't coach and didn't know what he was doing, but he didn't seem to galvanize the troops to rally behind him and to give him max effort. I think that Coach O'Connell's a different animal, and I welcome that and I appreciate that. But I got to see Kirk Cousins be better than Aaron Rodgers in the regular season to believe it. I'm not sold on that at all. I think Aaron Rodgers, when you think about him, we're going to hold him accountable, because you know what? If you hadn't vacillated back and forth as it pertained to what your future was going to be in Green Bay, maybe Devontae Adams would still be in Green Bay instead of stuck with Derek Carr. Even though Derek Carr is no scrub, he's no Aaron Rodgers either. And Aaron Rodgers with Devontae Adams for the Green Bay Packers seemed to be an ideal scenario, and nobody can deny that, all right? And I look at Aaron Rodgers right now. I'm looking at Romeo Doubs. He's elevating his level of play. Randall Cobb always seems open. You look at Lazard and these boys. You got some capable people on the side of the football with you. Again, I don't like the way Green Bay has looked. They're 3-2. We get all of that. In terms of their defense, they haven't given up more than 27 points this season. All right, their defense hasn't been god-awful. It hasn't been what we expected, but it hasn't been god-awful. And I think when you combine that with Aaron Rodgers somehow, some way, getting that offense to be a bit more productive, that'll take some of the pressure off of the defense, and we might see better play from them. But in the end, you're still coming to me, and you're asking me to ultimately have more faith in Kirk Cousins than Aaron Rodgers. Ain't no way in hell I'm doing that.
You know, it's about time you acknowledge 2 weeks ago when you were yelling at me about Cousins and Lamar Jackson. You say, you know what, doggy? Not bad. Cousins has played great. They went down the field against the Bears. They went down the field against the Lions. He has the Eagle game. The defense was awful.
They beat the Packers.
He beat Green Bay badly.
To open the season.
Give him
season
credit.
opener.
Give him a little credit. I know he's easy to pick on. Give him a little credit.
Man playing good, man.
Thank you. Excellent, Marcus. Give him a little credit. Give him a little. And one thing about Packers,
don't be over there acting like you sleep. All you doing is got an affinity for Aaron Rodgers. That's all this boiled down to. It ain't no way in hell you didn't watch both of these teams play and you think the Green Bay Packers better than the Minnesota Vikings. I'm sorry, doggy. Go ahead. Don't be taking no deep breath on me and doggy like we don't know what we're talking about.
I can't. You can huff and puff all the stuff you want to. You ain't blowing nobody's house down. You better fall back.
When somebody do that to you, you always looking at us crazy.
We having a conversation. What was the conversation about? Which team wins the NFC North? It ain't which team is better at this moment. It's which team wins the NFC North. It's not beyond the realm of comprehension that the Green Bay Packers could win the NFC North. That's number one. Number two, and more importantly, we've seen Kirk Cousins look good in the past. This is not foreign to us. We know he's not a scrub. We know he can play. But when moments call for him to up the ante, to step up his game, and to find a way to pull you through, he's come up short. I'm not off my rocker saying something like that. So you can huff all you want to. But you know I'm right about that. I'm just saying. The point is, so what? We talking regular season. I'm very disappointed in Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs recently. Very disappointed.
Doggy, I'm sorry for cutting you off. Go ahead, dog.
Well, that's right. I'm going to take your side, Marcus, because he is overlooking about 3,000 things. First off, that defense.
3,000?
Well, hold on now. How about 17-3 against the Giants on Sunday morning, and they lost the game?
Yeah, how about that?
They had a 17-3 lead. You sat here 20 minutes ago.
On the graphic, doggy. What is this?
Yeah, I'm going to switch it. I'm going with you.
Okay.
You sat here 20 minutes. You sat here 20 minutes ago telling me that the Giants had nothing, yet they scored 3 touchdowns in a row against that defense.
That's right.
Furthermore, they're lucky they're 3-2. They should have lost to New England, and a third-string quarterback the week before needed an overtime to beat him, and Zappi had a first down at the 50-yard line in OT. They're lucky they won that game. Minnesota's 3-0 in the division. Beat the Packers, beat the Bears, beat the Lions. Minnesota's schedule's not difficult. 5 of 6 at home around Thanksgiving, including the Patriots and the Jets. They have a quarterback who's playing outstanding football in Cousins. We know about, obviously, the receiver in Jefferson. Thielen's good. Irv Smith's a pretty good tight end.
Yep.
They got a respectable defense. They got a little enthusiasm with Okada. This Minnesota team's a big-time football team in 22, and it's about time you at least get off the Rodgers balloon and admit it, for crying out loud.
Thank you, doggy. Thank you, doggy. Thank you, doggy.
all you want to.
Come on.
Y'all think y'all
He make me sick with it, man. You make people sick with that.
Can I speak? Can I speak? Can I speak? That's what we doing? Let me tell y'all this question, okay? You said Kirk Cousins. He had a hell of a season, right? He's completed 66% of his passes with 7 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Did you know that?
Well, you had 3 against the Eagles.
I'm just saying, the point that I'm trying to make to you, my brother, is this. We were talking about Minnesota, especially after they smacked around Green Bay in week 1, right? And they went to Philadelphia and they got slapped around a damn 6 days later. This is what we're dealing with. All I'm trying to say to y'all is this. Kirk Cousins could play in a scrub. I respect what I'm seeing from the Minnesota Vikings. They could win the NFC North. I'm just saying, if I got to bet after week 5, if I got to bet my money the rest of the way on Aaron Rodgers without Devontae Adams, or Kirk Cousins even with that stud Jefferson, I'm still going with Aaron Rodgers because it's Aaron Rodgers against Kirk Cousins. And I'm not a believer that when it really, really counts, it's that Kirk Cousins is going to come through. What's the problem? I don't understand what you all upset about. I got facts on my side.
Because this is what you do. This is the exact argument for waiting for the fall. All of the evidence right now tells us that the Vikings are the best team in the division, including a win over the team that you say ain't gonna win the division.
Easily. They killed them.
What the hell?
I think
your whole premise.
Take care of them when they meet them again.
It's the second to last week of the season. The season might be over already for
Bro,
Green Bay
your
by that
whole
point.
premise is Aaron Rodgers.
Right there. They'll be right there. They'll be right there because of Aaron freaking Rodgers.
Okay.
I recall them having struggles in the past several years, early on. And Aaron Rodgers said,
They ain't lose to the Vikings.
relax. That's what he said. And then he went out there and showed you why he was right in telling you to relax. We've seen other teams get ahead early, and all of a sudden they fold like cheap tents. I'm telling you that when it comes to Kirk Cousins, I got to see it to believe it. That's all.
See,
Why
here's my
didn't we
problem.
put Cousins in the MVP discussion earlier in the show? I should have put him up there.
I don't know why.
You
Here's the
took
problem,
Allen,
doggy.
and Don took. Well, we should have taken Cousins. He's been phenomenal.
Doggy, this is what happens. This is what happens with Stephen A. Smith, okay? This is what happens, all right? I guarantee you, let the Minnesota Vikings would have lost to the Giants and see what his energy would be today.
Be crazy.
See what it would be today towards Kirk
You're
Cousins. But because it's Aaron Rodgers, without the same team he's had in the past, they are not the same team. You don't want to acknowledge that because Aaron Rodgers plays quarterback.
Can I ask a question, Swag?
What?
Is